Get ready with me for bed while I talk about things I will not spend my money on. I refuse to spend my money on as someone that does spend their money on a lot of unuseful things. To start off, those Labubu's, those Sonny Angels, all those little just like trinkets that don't really have a purpose. You could kind of see like the Sonny Angel that like hangs on your phone or something for like a phone accessory, but genuinely buying like 50 of them and they're so expensive, you'll never catch me doing that, ever. This one has really never mattered to me because I'm not like a kind of show person, but you will never catch me having multiple like accounts, like a Hulu, a Netflix, a Disney Plus, a Peacock, any of those. I actually don't have any of those. I have a Netflix account that's my mom said I don't even use because I don't really watch shows, so that doesn't really apply to me. But spending like $10 per thing per month, that's insane to me. Same thing with like an Uber Eats Dash Pass or like a Fast Pass, a Dash, whatever it's called when you get like DoorDash, but you have like a monthly subscription, so it's cheaper. Like, don't get me wrong, like I've definitely DoorDashed before. It's not like a weekly occurrence, let alone am I spending extra money just to get like the free fast stuff. Next will be getting my hair done, lashes done, any of that kind of thing. Granted, right now I do have my nails done, but you will not catch me. I used to be platinum blonde my whole life, and I would have to get my hair done every 3 months, and it's like $200 to get my hair done. And just going back to my natural color, I've saved so much money. I honestly like my natural hair more. You will not catch me going to Sephora asking them to do my makeup for prom or anything like that because I know my face more. And also, I've never gotten fake lashes, and if I was to want to get fake lashes, I'd get ones from like a store that I can do myself. I'm not spending $100 to get my lashes done. Nails, I've always gotten my nails done for like 3 years straight, and I stopped getting them done for maybe I think like 8 or 9 months because of work, and I just got them done for vacation. But not having to spend $100 because I go to a nail tech and they're normally anywhere from like $90 to $100. It was so nice. It was so nice. When he said $100, I was gagged. I did not want to give him that $100. So no, never again, let alone I can't really get my nails done unless it's a special occasion. So this one's gonna have a lot of people mad, but y'all addicts, you people buying a brand new $30 vape every single, I don't know, week. I don't know how long it takes to go through one, but I got some people that be getting a new vape every single week. First of all, you're disgusting. Have some self-respect. Like, $30 on something just to inhale, like, ugh. And that kind of goes along with like going out as well. Like, spending $30+ on an Uber just to get drunk is honestly crazy to me every single weekend. Obviously, like, I'm not talking like special occasions because like, trust, I'm with you on the special occasions, but y'all going out every single weekend spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on drinks and then paying an Uber fee. Like, get a good homie that'll pick you up. Do something pre-game before, because that's insane to me. If you got the money, you got the money, but that's crazy. Another thing is daily Starbucks, daily Dunkin', that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I do drink energy drinks. I've never been a Starbucks lover or a Dunkin' lover. Like, I've never felt the need before school every single day to get Dunkin' or Starbucks because that's actually insane. But I do drink energy drinks. The only time you will catch me drinking energy drinks though, or buying them, is when there's like a deal. I'll never have the same brand of an energy drink. Like right now I have like 4 Blooms because it was buy 2, get 2 free. Like, you know, Celsius last week was 99 cents. Like, you will not catch me spending $7 plus on a drink every single morning. Next would be Lululemon or Alo Yoga, those kind of brands. I think it's insane to spend $100 on a pair of leggings. Y'all, Lululemon kids are actually ridiculous, and I will never condone my child to turn out like that. It's crazy to me that like I could just be shopping and a Lululemon, all I see little kids with like 10 things in their hands. Me as a 19-year-old, I hesitate to even think about wanting to spend $100 on a pair of leggings. Like, don't get me wrong, in high school, like, I spent that money, but now that I'm like in college, that's crazy. Like, I'll get that on Depop. Aloe, I've never owned it, but I know it's just as pricey, and again, I'll get on Depop. This last one would be having multiple water bottles, let alone having those water bottle like accessories. Why am I seeing TikToks of go on a walk with me with my Stanley, and there's like a backpack for it, a snack holder? That is honestly overconsumption. And I can't really be talking because I have a lot of like products, but a water bottle backpack is crazy. Like, alone having like 10 plus water bottles is honestly insane to me. I've had the same water bottle for like 5 years, and I finally just got a new one from TJ Maxx because I really wanted an Awala but didn't want to spend the money on it. My TJ Maxx one literally started leaking 3 days later, so I finally got an Awala, and the Awala I didn't even spend my money on. My boyfriend bought it for me. I would never spend $50 on a water bottle if I already have a water bottle, let alone like have 10 water bottles. Those are things I will not spend my money on as someone who used to spend a lot of money on unnecessary things.
He talks about how overspending can start way earlier than you think. I remember being like 8 years old, going to a friend's house after school and just feeling this weird shame. Like, they had a massive TV, they had all the branded snacks I saw on adverts, a nice clean bedroom that was just theirs. And I just remember thinking, why don't we have that? And I don't think I was jealous. I think I just felt behind, like I already had to catch up. And now looking back, I realized that I had that same feeling when I used to overspend. Like, I was trying to buy what I couldn't have back then. I was trying to feel like I was enough. And that's when I realized overspending isn't always about self-control. Sometimes it's about healing. I've worked through that now, and I've actually been able to save more because of it. So if you're struggling, just know that you can overcome it. And if you do need help with that, that's exactly what I help my clients do. You can book a call with me via my link in bio to find out. Talks about the reasons why we overspend. A lot of the reasons is because we feel like we never have enough. Like, if you were always told during your childhood, we don't have any money, we don't have enough, there's rice at home. When you start making more money, don't be surprised if you always still feel like you don't have enough. And because you feel like you don't have enough, you feel like you have to spend it. So sometimes overspending isn't because you're bad with money, it's because you continuously tell yourself that you don't have enough. I wonder why you love eating at fancy places. It might be because growing up, even going to a fast food restaurant was a big deal. If your parents were like, why would we go out when there's food at home? You would then just stay at home. And now that you've got your own money, you might overdo it. You might still be trying to give the little you the treat they never got. But here's the thing, if you don't check that pattern, you end up overspending. Not to enjoy the food, but to feel a feeling. So now I've just had to learn how to pause, to treat myself without trying to heal every childhood wound in one dinner
meal. That helped me break my overspending habit for good was differentiating the things that I see versus the things that I actually want. Let me explain. The things that you see is when you go in stores like Target or Home Goods or TJ Maxx, and you're like, ooh, that looks cool. Never even thought about the thing before, but you see it and it's like, oh yeah, I automatically need that, or I automatically want that. No, it's just something that you literally see versus things that you want. So for example, I got this mirror right here. Wanted it for a very long time. It was a lot of money from Crate and Barrel. And I was like, I am going to get that mirror. And so I'm going to prioritize spending on this mirror because I really want it over things that I just see in the store that I would be able to put that same money towards this mirror instead. And so getting in the habit of really catching yourself when you want things that you see versus the things that you really truly want, and those things lasting, you being satisfied with those purchases for a long time and not forgetting about it the next day or the next week because you didn't really want it in the first place, you just saw it, will help you so much with an overspending.
You don't need Aritzia, you don't need HomeSense, you don't need Lulu, you don't need Aloe, you don't need Dynamite, you don't need nothing. You don't freaking need it. And you know what you will realize? Put it in your cart, save it in like your list, and then literally weeks and a month will go by and you're like, oh, I'm still living without that dress. Oh, I'm still living without that freaking planter for my flowers. Oh, and it's like a epiphany. I was like, oh shit. It's been like a month and I haven't even had the use for what's in my cart. You don't need it. You didn't ever need it. And I haven't bought anything in a very long time. Like, I mean, like, no accessories, clothing, shoes, makeup. Like, I've noticed my Visa bill is very low. So it was me. I was the issue. I am the problem. But I'm blaming my husband because like he buys coffee. You think, oh, just $50. That adds up. It was just $20. That adds up. Oh, $100 for this dress. It adds up, guys. So if you do that 4 times a month, there's going to be an additional $300-$400 plus on your Visa. That's what I've noticed. It's me. I was the problem. Oh my God. That's why our Visa bill is high. I was spending the money. And that's how you get your Visa bill low. Don't spend money.
Misconception about overspending is that if you are an overspender, if you chronically overspend, you're just overspending on garbage. Like, you're just buying the stuff that's a waste of space. And while that's true, and I would argue like most cases, in a lot of cases, in like 55-60% of cases, I regret to inform you that you can also be overspending on quality pieces. You can also be just overspending on stuff that actually does make your life better. And while you think of that and you go, well, that's not overspending if it's on something that is actually good for my life. How many good for our life things are we buying? How many things do we look at and go, whoa, that would look incredible on me. I have to have it. Like, nothing looks good on me like that. Like, how many times do we say that? When does the ratio become imbalanced? Like, maybe you're trying on enough things that you do find like good stuff that looks good on you, but now we're overspending on the good stuff. How do you curb good stuff spending? Because that's the hardest part. The hardest part is curbing the spending on stuff that is actually like a justifiable purchase. I used to work in anthropology and I had this coworker who was so pretty. And sometimes if the store was particularly slow, we would get to try on clothes. And I swear every time she tried on something, I was like, that looks amazing on you. Like, that looks so good on you. And she would go, yeah, it looks nice, but it's not my favorite. And then she'd go change and she'd never think about it ever again. And I remember thinking to myself, if I tried on every single piece of clothing and thought, yeah, no, this does arguably look good on me. Like, it's not the best thing I've ever seen on my body, but it does look good. Even when it looks bad on everybody else, it looks good on me. What's stopping me from buying that thing? Because part of my argument at the time was most things, in my opinion, look bad on me. So when I find something that looks good on me, I buy it. I snatch it up immediately. Like, there's no questions asked. So I went to my coworker and I said, how come you don't overspend on clothing? Like, how do you even do that? How do you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, yes, I definitely look better than everybody else who has ever put this article of clothing on, but I'm not going to buy it. How do you do that? And she goes, well, it doesn't really fit in with like my aesthetic or who I am as a person. Plus, I have a lot of things that look like that thing. And essentially, she just gave me a list of things that she goes through that stop her from buying it, even though it looks phenomenal on her. And I feel like right now I'm at the stage of recovering super spender that is trying to curb the good purchases, trying to curb my investment in good pieces and useful stuff because I'm buying too much of that now. Well, actually this year I'm doing a lot better about it because I'm doing a no buy for all of 2025. But in 2024, I was buying too much good stuff. Every purchase I made was a justifiable purchase. And that's when it's a problem because you can still be overspending on stuff that is arguably a good.
It made me realize I spend too much damn money every day. That's what I realized today. Because why was today low-key a struggle? And it shouldn't have been. It's one day of not spending money. I got butter, bread, peanut butter. This is what I'm eating. Because I didn't prepare myself. So, what else am I going to snack on? Eat something to eat tonight. Some spicy beef patties. My mom made me some green juice. That's what we're working with. Low kid needed gas. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push the limits. I made it home. So I'm so delusional. I'm like, we did it for one day. I'm like, so did it work? What's up? Like, did we do our big one? I really realized I spend too much money.
Debt to treat yourself isn't self-care. Weekly or monthly clothing hauls are never going to make you feel satisfied. That one item in your checkout is not going to complete your wardrobe. The shame, stress, and hopelessness that you feel towards your shopping habit are not going to help you break it. I'm Hannah. I'm a former shopaholic helping thousands of people break the cycle of impulse shopping and overspending on clothes. If you want more tips to quit compulsive shopping, save this video to keep underconsumption content in your algorithm.
This is things that I think are way overpriced. Like things that when I look at the price tag of it, I'm like shocked. First off, throw pillows. As a society, we failed with throw pillows. You look at a throw pillow, $25 for a useless item. An item that you throw on the floor at the end of the day. And during the day, it sits on your bed where pretty much no one looks at it. Still, for some of us, it costs you an hour's worth of work. That is one of our downfalls as a society. Cocktails. What are we doing? I don't even want to say that I'm mad about the price they are, but I'm mad that we have enabled bars to charge as much as they do for cocktails. Because they know we're going to buy them. They also know that we could stay home and take shots before going out, but instead, we buy their cocktails. For the vibe, for the flavor, whatever. It's insane. Wet food for cats. I buy my cat wet food because I just don't think he should live a life where he's eating dry food every day. Also because he throws up when he eats dry food. Every time I look at the price, I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. He might have to start eating dry food. That shit just has no reason to be that expensive. It shouldn't be $30 to buy a pack of wet cat food. Tickets to concerts? What are we doing? Why the fuck is it like $300 to buy a concert ticket? This is like an hour and a half of your life.
We got a Target on June 27th. Another Target run on June 27th. Target run on June 24th. June 21st. Basically every other day we're going to Target. We need to figure out what's causing us to go to Target so often and maybe get rid of some of those things.
While some of y'all are not living the life that you want to live, and I need y'all to hear me very clearly, you make poor financial decisions because you feel entitled to be able to live a life that you can't afford. This is income tax season right now. Some of these people are going to get 8, 7, some 10, probably 10,000. And they're going to be broke in the next 3 months. Absolutely broke. That's because you're finna make the most craziest decisions that you can possibly make. You're finna go get a matching year vehicle, working at a job that only makes $30,000. If you don't understand to allow money to start making money for you, then you're going to continue to be broke. All you're going to ever do is work for money. You have to start understanding, stop trying to please everybody and make everybody think that you're really living this lifestyle when you're not. The best thing that I've ever done when I started making money was I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna tell y'all, is to act like I ain't got it. Because you know what? I don't like people asking me for anything because people feel entitled to your shit. You running around here in a Benz in a nice house, guess what? All family member friends you gonna be the bank for them. Even when they got it, they be like, but he got more. So I'm gonna go to them and I'm gonna ask them for it. Stop.
If you have money in your savings account, you guys count that as spendable money? Like, is that money that you can take out? Or like, is that money that's like, I don't have that money. As soon as the money goes into my savings account, that's not, like, obviously if you really like emergency, like, or whatever you're saving for, like down payment for a house, like you keep it in there until that. Is it like that? Or is it like, oh yeah, I have $30,000 to spend. Okay, so for example, your friend is like, oh, I want to go to this festival and it costs like $400 and I don't have $400 at all. And they're like, I know you have money. Is that, you're like, oh, okay, you're right. I'll just take it out of my savings and go to the festival. Or is it like, no, that money doesn't exist. I'm not using
3 bank accounts that help me manage my money and not overspend without having to track individual transactions in something like a budgeting app. Number 1, a bill account. This account's primary purpose is to literally receive money and pay your bills. That's it. You don't need to carry the card around. You don't need to spend money from it. Nothing. It receives money. It pays your bills. Your bills are on auto pay. There's literally nothing for you to do. Number 2, your spending account. This is a debit account. I use a debit card, a normal bank account that will go down to 0, and I can see when I'm going to be out of money or get close to spending all my money for that allotted time frame, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever the case is. This is where I do all of my spending. Go buy groceries, buy gas, shop if I go to the store, go to Home Goods, whatever. If I want to buy coffee, whatever it is that I am spending on outside of things like monthly recurring bills is happening from a spending account. Why is this? Because I can always see what my balance is at any given time. If I open up this account and it says I have $1,267 left over for the next 2 weeks, then that is the spending I have to do. If I open it up and it says $565 and this account does not get replenished for another 3 days, I know I've got $565 to spend for that 3 days. When I hit zero, I hit zero. There is no overdraft protection. It is literally a boundary to stop spending. That is literally the whole purpose. That's also another reason why I don't use credit cards, because typically I have a pretty high limit and I can just keep spending all I want. And I would have to like track my transactions. It just makes it very easy to know how much money you have left available to spend without needing to necessarily track individual transactions to see when you are going to hit a limit. The limit is zero. When you get to zero, there is no more spending. So look at the account every day. How much money do you have left? If you're about to go grocery shopping or do some sort of trip, what does my bank account tell me that I have left to spend? And this also helps you pace yourself. So if this account is replenished weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, you know how long you have left to have this money. So plan accordingly, spend strategically so that you don't run out of money too early. The third account is a savings account. This money is primarily for irregular expenses. Now, by irregular expenses, I mean things like oil changes, personal property taxes, a birthday, a wedding that you have to go to, things that happen and you can plan for, but they don't necessarily happen every single month. So it's not a part of your monthly spending. These are things that you probably try to put into a budget, but they're hard to budget for because they just come up different times throughout the year. They change month to month. These are the things that I save for 3 months at a time. So I think about what's coming up in the next 3 months. Gotta take my car to the oil change. Gotta take my dog to the vet. Gotta pay personal property taxes. How much are those things? So I make sure that I'm saving up for those things. And when those things come up, the money is already there for me to go spend, right? For me to have available in cash so that it doesn't interrupt my normal monthly spending, so that now I don't have to share the money that I'm spending on my dog's vet visit with the money that we need to spend on food. They're separated and I always have cash on hand for those things, so I don't need to use a credit card. So those are the three accounts: bill account, spending account, and irregular expenses. And I use that as a savings account because, again, typically this account stays at like $2,000 and I'm constantly sending money there because I know every month or every other month, something is going to come up that's irregular and I have the cash to do that. And I'm constantly also replenishing this. This is what it means to save consistently, knowing that this money is for irregular expenses. It is for you to use. This is not an emergency fund that is just there purposely for an emergency, like you have a natural disaster or your hot water heater breaks and it's, nothing that you can plan for. And that money and emergency fund should stay in your bank account. This is not that case. This is money that you know you will need to spend. It is irregular expenses that come up throughout the year that if you don't plan for, it otherwise eats into your normal monthly budget, and it typically causes you to
overspend. Like me, you're chronically online. I just know that you always have a shopping cart ready to go to click checkout and just get that beautiful dopamine rush. However, I don't know about you guys, but I personally tend to spiral anytime that I spend a significant amount of money, or honestly, any amount of money that I wasn't planning to spend on that particular item. So what I've mastered is having an ongoing note on my phone with restocks, repurchases, and items that I want to try. So here's how I break it down. All these products, except for the shower oil, because I'm almost out of it, have fully used or used every day, and I actually miss it. No matter how many items I have in similar categories, these are things that I long for and that actually make me enjoy my routine. When it comes to the repurchasing items, it's more so about the same item in a different color or in a different style. I love the CSB workout set. I don't go to the gym nearly enough, which is why I have not decided to spend $500+ on workouts. I want to try category are things that I just haven't tried the brand whatsoever, or I haven't gotten that particular scent. I will say lastly, besides doing this list, here's 3 things that you should do before you want to spend your hard-earned money that honestly save me a lot. First thing, ask yourself, can I actually afford this? Meaning, will spending money on these things take away from my needs, my rent, my mortgage, my car payment, whatever it may be? Will I actually feel better once I have the items, or is it just about the dopamine rush of clicking purchase or having things that are popular online? Lastly, can it wait? Is it for something that's coming up soon, like a vacation, or is it just the kind of thing that I can put on my Christmas list or my birthday list or whatever it may be? Maybe save up for it over time. But whether you want to ask yourself those questions or not, I do think that having this list and waiting at least 7 days to buy an item from it really helps to try it out.
I've heard people talking about overspending as a trauma response, but you probably never heard about someone saying oversaving is also a trauma response. Hi, my name is Bunchy, and I am a recovering oversaver. Welcome back to day 2 of the 30 days to financial confidence for the gorgeous woman like you. Oversaving can be just as hurtful for your financial confidence as overspending. And I'm gonna give you an example. So I was a college mom, okay? I had my son in college. So not only am I a broke college student, but I'm also a mother. I have to feed another life. Like, I have to learn how to schedule another life, my life, and make sure that I'm graduating in that 4-year span. Because of that, like, I just always had to have money. Like, I just always had to save money. When I tell you, like, I've opened all these accounts where I'll just keep like little monies there. Like, I had a credit union on campus where after I graduated, I was like, oh, I did have a credit union. I called them. They end up sending the money to like the state treasury and stuff. I just always needed to have money saved somewhere because my fear is not having it. Like, I didn't grow up with money, like, so I know that I have to depend on myself in the case, and I have another little one depending on me. So I'm just always used to like saving. When I tell you, like, my overspending went so bad, like 2 or 3 years ago, I stopped it because it got to a point where I started saving gift cards that I would get. Like, I would have like a little box of gift cards and I would just save it for just in case. And that is my trauma response. Again, 3 years ago, I am a recovering oversaver. Now what I do is I have like multiple high yield savings account for savings, like my vacation, emergency, my son is something that's coming up for him. Like, I just have money saved in those accounts. But what has helped me now is that I have things categorized. Saving for this, and this is the amount that I'm saving. When that is done, I'm done. Because I know that I'm reaching those saving goals, now I'm using my money more towards investment and not just having this sitting account so I can see it. And because I see it, I feel safe. Now I'm more on the investment side. And doing those things like having a high yield savings account that you can categorize by what you're saving, and also like investing my money, it has boosted up my financial confidence, and that is the whole purpose.